Hannah, my daughter, she's about 10 months by the time this podcast airs, and we're just hanging out, and I'm like rubbing her head, and this like 7-year-old kid comes up and just starts. The boy comes up and says, "She's so cute."
Is he special needs?
I don't know. He was super sweet. I like he seemed perfectly,
Are you just saying that because at museums there seems to be a lot of special needs kids?
No, I was just saying it before I get to making fun of this kid. I don't want it to end
with his special needs.
No, I don't.
Special needs.
Here's the thing. I have no idea. But
I'm going to play it like we know that he's not.
Yeah, that's a good play.
So he says she's super cute.
So he comes up, she's super cute, and I'm rubbing her head, and then he just goes and rubs her head, and then he like starts looking at her feet, like touching her,
Kids love
examining
baby
her
feet.
feet. But he's just like grabbing my kid, and then he goes, "What's her tickle spot?"
Oh,
What?
And I'm like, you know what? I don't think she has one. And I'm looking for this kid's fucking mom, and she's just standing there.
He goes, I'm talking about her vagina.
I mean, it fucking felt
What's
like
her
that.
tickle
What's her
spot?
tickle spot? It was really.
Does he have a younger sibling?
Kid was no.
No.
It was this kid and his mom who was just watching him expressionless. And I'm looking at my friends, and they're looking at me like, what the fuck is going on with this kid? I'm just trying to be nice and get this kid to go away. I don't know what to do. Then I get on the train, and I purposely go to a different car or like the other side of a car. This kid follows me, like shimmies over.
He's like, hey, motherfucker, I asked you a question.
Where's that fucking tickle spot, boy?
So we keep running into this kid at the museum.
Like a character Mark Wahlberg played in the 90s.
But this is just I have nothing to observe about this. I more wanted to bring this up for discussion. Like, what the fuck would you guys do in that situation? I wanted to be nice.
I've had that happen. No, well, not the tickle spot. I've never had it as aggressive
Tickle spot's
as that.
aggressive.
This is what I say. I say, it happened with Miles, and I said, I appreciate you wanting to play with Miles, but Miles doesn't really like to be touched like that.
Whoa.
That's what I say.
I've never had that happen.
And then the kid said, how does he like to be touched?
That maybe you just haven't found the right tickle spot.
I feel like yours was a pedophile walking on his knees.
Yeah. All of a sudden somebody's like, hey, Steve, our tram's here. Let's get the fuck out of here.
I'm trying to find this kid's tickle spot over here.
You know what? I actually think with
Steve's a great pedophile
with
name.
girls, it's even more important to be like. I mean, Hannah's 10 months, so I don't think that she's like gathering what you're saying. But like, how did she react?
She was just double finger pointing to her vagina. It's right here, big boy.
She's rubbing her nipples with one hand and pointing to her vagina with the other.
She had a non-reaction. Laugh it up, guys. This is your version of showing me a hemorrhoid photo.
I don't.
You're like,
This is the only thing that Justin loses his shit about is talking about little kids' pussies.
No. Hold on. Yeah.
you get my joke out.
I want to hear it. We can't just laugh, though. Are you ready? I was left alone. Hez took the kids somewhere. I landed, and I come home, and it's just me. And I think the natural dude assumption is oh, you're gonna go jerk off in your own house. I think it may be the first time that I've ever been in my own home, completely alone in 3 years. And it felt like the fucking rapture happened. It was uneasy. I walked in, and I was like, oh, it's just me. I couldn't get comfortable alone in my own place. It was so weird. I don't even know why. They were just gone for 3 hours. But I'm I didn't know when they were coming home, so that takes any level of comfort you're going to have for masturbating. And then you're sitting on the couch, and then I fell asleep. And then it gets to the point where you're what should I look like I'm doing when they come home? I started the feeling of well, if I'm just fucking here in my sweats and Heather walks in, she's going to be war-torn from having both of these kids. So I'm do I lay under the sink with a wrench to make it look like I've been fucking, the disposal's fixed and I got this.
It's just your head hidden, your arms hidden, you're in your sweatpants. Dad's fixing the sink with a giant erection. Because when I was like in junior high, I had the Pamela Anderson Playboy tape, right? That was my prop or whatever,
There
you know.
was a kid in my school who had that.
Yeah, it's like pales in comparison to anything you would find on the most tame websites now. But I had a VHS copy of it that I had hidden inside of a Home Alone VHS box. But then if you pulled that out, the tape was clearly labeled Pamela Anderson Playboy tape. And then one day I come into my room and my mom's like, or no, she came out of my room, comes downstairs, I'm eating or whatever, and she's just like, so you have the Pamela Anderson's Playboy tape, huh? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, what do you do with that? And I was just like, what? She's like,
Rub my dick.
do you do boy things? And it was like she was like prodding me, like,
Why?
I know you masturbate now.
Oh, no.
And it was like, oh, gotcha. And then I think I didn't masturbate for a few years.
Yeah,
Do you
that
think
would
she caught you because she walked in on your dad jerking off to Home Alone? You'd switch the cases.
That's why they.
What's Pamela Anderson getting in this thing?
That's why they got divorced. Fixed.
I was about 12. I remember being on the bus and
Masturbating.
this kid getting on the bus. I remember we're on the bus route, and then he gets on, and he's just started jerking off.
Yeah.
And he's pitching it like he works on commission. Like
Yeah.
he just, the whole back of the bus, he's like, I swear, you gotta try it. But because he's like so open and cool with it, everyone's like, this is a trap. So no one knew.
Yeah.
From the jerk-off police.
He just like legitimately, he's like a used car salesman of jerking off. He's like, seriously, what's it going to take me to get you in your hand today? And I went find out. I was like, you know what? I think this guy he may be onto something. So I go home and I try it, and I get to the end, and right before the end, like the feeling, I stop, and then nothing. I was just kind of like, oh, whoa, that's weird. And it was like sensitive, but I didn't finish. So then the next day I go back to the bus, and he's back. He's like, hey, did anybody? And I'm like, no, but like if I did, at the end, does it feel like you're about to pee? Because I thought I'd like jerked off into pee. But like I thought I was like, oh, now I have to go pee. And then I'd stopped, and it was all feeling weird. And then I inevitably got blue balls or whatever. So he's like, no, it feels. He's like, whenever you feel that, you just keep going. But he never said anything else.
I love if this was the bus driver. Like, your memory's wrong. It wasn't a kid. It was the
Here we are at the Science Museum.
He just stops the bus and gets up.
Here, let me show you. I'll just show you. If you can't do it, I'll show you. But I remember
You guys, I was jerking up.
But he doesn't say anything else, and then I just do it, and I have a black comforter. And the next morning, my mom comes to wake me up, and she just like pulls the comforter down. And the first thing I could think of was I was brushing my teeth. I just yelled to her. I brush my teeth in bed because visually it was the closest thing
That's
that
a pretty
looks
good
like
lie.
the thing. And I go, I brush my teeth in bed. And then you just look at it, and it's like a crime scene. And in the back, I'm like, viciously brush my teeth. And then I dried my mouth with the inside of my underwear.